We don't like to change, people don't like to change. So you explain the process, you show them how to do it, you monitor it, and then one day you have to rip the old process out from under their feet. It's sink or swim, and that's how you get to propel automation and change forward in a manufacturing environment. That's how we've done it. And in the end, if you go around and ask any one of our employees, how would it be like to work here if we pulled that away from you today? It'd be like, you get answers like chaos. We can't work without it. How would we do our job? My name is Elias. I'm the president of Muskoka Cabinet Company. We're a residential cabinet manufacturer located near Ottawa, Canada. So my reason for automation, I've got several. One of the most compelling ones is our industry is just ripe for it. Like, what an opportunity. If you have a vision, if you want to emulate some other successful industries, the wood industry is just ripe to take those examples and that automation and that equipment that's out there that's being used right now and adapt it for our industry. What is that going to do? Well, obviously going to make you more competitive. When you think about high tech and you think about how their facilities are with their nice work environments and the benefits and the opportunities for advancement, I see no reason why this can't be applied to our industry. And the key to do it is automation. The money's there. The money is there. We just have to automate our processes so we can extract that money. I call it mining for gold. There's gold on the shop floor.
My name is Matthew Elias. I'm the Executive Vice President here at Muskoka Cabinet Company. My dad started Muskoka Cabinet Company about 35 years ago. Growing up, I worked on the shop floor during the summers and other various positions here at the company. Afterwards, I went on to college as a programmer. I really had no intention of coming back into the business, but when I graduated, my dad offered me a position in one of our sister companies, which is a software company, and it's really tied to everything we do here at Muskoka Cabinet Company. So working there and spending a lot more time there, I came to see how much technology is actually tied to the way we do things on the cabinet manufacturing side, and I grew a love for that. The reason that we automate and that we always set high performance standards at our company is we really have three main goals for this. To our customers, we want to provide a high quality custom product but at mass produced prices. We want to provide best in class wages and benefits to our employees, and automation helps us do that. Third, for the company, it's about adaptability and profitability. When you're highly automated, it's much easier to adapt in market downturns. We use automation and high performance standards to get to these three outcomes. A lot of the younger generation doesn't want to work on a shop floor, doesn't want to do more general labor work, these repetitive manual tasks, but they are very interested in engineering, programming, which, these are also very fulfilling and well-paying jobs. Automation allows us to reduce the amount of those manual jobs on the shop floor. And then with automation and technology, we need people to maintain it, to design it, to program it. So in some cases, we work with external companies like Superficie to put in a finishing line, and in other cases, we need people to come in and maintain that line or develop any sort of automation that we want on the floor. There's a few challenges in the woodworking industry. The major one now being our labor force. There's not as many people going into the industry. It's very, very tough to find people that want to do this work. But in order to attract these people, we need to offer them a career, some advancement opportunities, benefits, earn a wage that you could raise a family on, buy a home. When you think about the woodworking industry, that's not the first thing that comes to mind. How many cabinet shops have retirement plans? It's just not that common. This is what automation is going to do for us. This is how we're going to be able to elevate our industry, bringing in more and more technology and automation. It's not a labor killer. There isn't labor available to do the jobs. It's a labor improvement, enhancement. We can now upskill our employees. They can work in multiple departments because they don't need to know as much as they needed to know before because it's not as hands-on. They can learn a new skill, learn to run a piece of equipment or automation or robotics, and move around a lot easier in the manufacturing process, which makes them more valuable and makes the job a lot more interesting for them to do.
My name is Bruce Lamontang. I work as a panel processing supervisor at Muskoka Cabinet Company. I oversee the department that's responsible for cutting all of the parts that end up in assembly and ultimately make up kitchens that we build. It was by far the most attractive element of the corporation when I was first introduced to Muskoka. I thought it was really impressive the way that they incorporated cutting-edge technology in every part of their processes. I think it's a privilege to be able to train my skills on these emerging technologies as they develop. The opportunities that I've been given at Muskoka have allowed me to learn even more about the technologies that we use and have afforded opportunities for me to develop as a leader. The increase in automation in our field actually makes for more interest in what we do because it opens up new disciplines and new technologies that I get to be a part of, I get to learn, I get to contribute to, and I feel like that's something that's going to keep me interested for time to come.
Very early on, there was a few things that we put in place and communicated, and one was that we would never lay off when we brought in some automation or improve the process. That was just completely off the table. We were doing it for growth. Sure, we may not hire as many new employees, but we would never let anybody go because we put in a robot. And we've pretty much stuck to that rule for 35 years. In our industry, material handling is the biggest expense on the shop floor. In fact, there are studies that have been done that show that 60% of shop labor in a cabinet business is wasted. So this is where we see the greatest impact that we can have to uplift the cabinet industry, to make it an industry where people want careers. So how do we do that? We need better working environment. Technology does that, automation does that. Less back strain, less physical injuries. If we can be more efficient and use the machines to do the mundane tasks, then there's a lot more money available to pay better wages. So we want to attract people into our industry. And this is the way we do it at Muskoka. This is our goal. This is our vision. This is our vision for the future.